All right. With that said, let's settle down and let's get our guest speaker up here who hails from Summersville, South Carolina. His favorite car is a Porsche. Yes, he walks around with his Porsche hat to get leads. He's got an ACN, he's done a fantastic job. Like I said before, I will land there. We'll go up and down the highway all day and all night. He would drop me back at my hotel. And he said one day, "Why are you staying in a hotel? Stay on my couch because you're never there." I said, "That makes sense." You okay with sleeping on the couch? I go, "Hey, if that's the floors, it won't be the last." See, let me say this: leaders do whatever they got to do. This guy will run up and down the highway. We will run the tires off the car from sun up to sundown. And that's what I love about him. And because of that, he was like a SVP in our previous company together. He came over here. He's doing a fantastic job. He's got a couple RDs in his organization. And I'm expecting the RVP to close it out. Listen, folks, we've got 190 days for a lot of y'all. If y'all just go to work, you can be in this position. Without further ado, from Summersville, South Carolina, my dear friend, the one and only, Mr. Curtis Evans.
Well, it's really good coming off the convention. Good seeing everybody. We had a lot of people that I see on the call here every day, and I got a chance to meet them in person. So that was really great. Today we're going to talk about a few things. One of the biggest things that I want everybody just to be aware of, I just need you to be aware of, it's, we're always looking for what? Customers, customers, customers. And we're always looking for what? IBOs, people, potential IBOs. And those are the two things that we need to get really good at. The third thing I'm gonna throw in there is gonna be something called conventions, okay? And the reason conventions are so important is because people make big decisions at conventions. The decisions, if you're a cook just went to RVP. If you're a dishwasher just went to RVP. If you are a bus driver just went to RVP. So you get a chance to be around a lot of people. Some of them do the same thing that you do. So it's really good to get away and get to a convention. And I used to time my vacations around the convention because if there's something going on in town, get there a little earlier, a day earlier, so that, maybe it's a museum, maybe it's a concert Saturday, I don't know, something. Just tie that in with it so you can write off your entertainment. So it's just a big thing to do. I remember I was working one day and I ran into an older lady as she was retired, and she told me, I helped her with something. She was really happy about that. I don't know how old she was, but when I say older right now, she's probably younger than I am right now. But she said that she worked for hospice, and I might have told you guys the story before. She worked for hospice for 30 years. Now, hospice, she says she was in the death business. Now, this is really weird, okay? But there's a lot of people in hospice that do a lot of good work, helping people, they only have a few more days on the planet or whatever. And she said that everybody, these are a few things that she noted. Because I asked her, why are you still working? She said, because when she was, when someone passes away, she heard this over and over and over and over and over the 30 years she worked with hospice. Mama was doing good and then she retired. Daddy was doing good and then he retired. Uncle was doing good and then they retired. In other words, they went outside and sat on the porch. Okay, they were busy the whole day. They had to be somewhere at 8 o'clock, they had to be somewhere at 7 o'clock. Somebody was waiting on them after lunch. They were busy, somebody needed them. And then one day they were waiting to retire to get out of this place and go do something, right? Well, it was something wound up being as what? Sitting on the porch because they didn't have any money. I mean, when you retire, you really want to retire and go do something, right? But if you don't have the income, a lot of people have to just keep working. Now, I don't know what you guys call this, but this ain't work, okay? I don't know what you call this. I don't know what you call what we're doing now, but this is not work. Work is when you're paving you're outside paving, cutting grass today. If that's if you're in the lawn care, if you're outside on a hot pavement selling cars, or if you are that's work. Going somewhere, staying for 10 hours and then have to stay a little bit longer. That's work. What we have to do is not work. So when Mr. Thomas says go to work, what's he talking about? Yeah, I want to ask everybody. He says go to work. This is what he wants you to do. He wants you to pick 3 to 10 people per day, get some names and numbers, and then contact them. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that ain't work. You guys know what work is. Everybody on this call know what work is. That is not work. Now, he'll say go to work, That's because he understands that's what we need to do. We know about 200 or 300 people, right? And those people will come to our funeral wedding. They'll stop what they're doing to come there. Then there's the rest of the world. And he's saying, in a nice way, he's trying to say, go talk to the rest of the world. You may have already talked there, may have, or most people haven't, but you may have already talked to the people that you think are going to do this, because you didn't get through your whole list. I mean, you talk to anybody who's been in this business a number of years, they'll tell you they never went through their whole list. They still got to talk to the people they know. But what about the people they don't know? So I just want you to be able to have something that rolls off of your tongue, not my tongue, your tongue, okay? Something that rolls off your tongue. So I want Manny to be practiced up. I want him practiced up. When he running somebody, he's gonna say this thing in the mirror 5,000 times. And when somebody shows up that he thinks might be good at this, it rolls off his tongue. I want it to roll off of Daryl's tongue. I want it to roll off of Jackie's tongue. I want it to roll off of Joy's tongue. Now, I can't tell you what that might be, but I want you to practice it, get it down, get really good at peaking people. Mr. Pierce, Dix, I want him really good at peaking people, okay? And when you say peaking, just getting their interest. And what you really want out of them is their name and number. Now, that's a little difficult sometimes because in the world we live in, a stranger wanting our name and number, that's a little weird, okay? It's a crazy world we live in. You know, we can say one thing and it all sounds good in theory, but the world we live in, if you ask somebody for their name and number, they're like, oh, ho, 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 ho. Everything was going good till you got to there. They start slamming on brakes. And you may not be comfortable with it as well. But I want you to get uncomfortable. Okay? What I want you to do is get uncomfortable. Now involves the word what? Work. Okay? Because you're uncomfortable. It's not something that happens normally. If they won't give you their name and number, guess what? They won't give you their name and number. And if you're a guy and you're walking up to a girl and you're talking to her because she's really good at whatever she does, and you say, hey, can I get your name and number? Now she's thinking all kinds of things, okay? So we guys, we gotta be careful. Now you girls, y'all lucky, you can get names and numbers. You girls can go get them. Them boys will give you the name and their number. They'll say, hey, here it is. Here it is, call me. But the guys are a little bit weird. The girls are a little weird about it too, because they know if they call you, oh, Sally Sue gonna answer the phone. She wanna know what you want, you know? So I was trying to get in touch with you. I was trying to get in touch with, I don't know what I wanted. So, you know, it's just a little weird. So what I want you to just be really, really good at getting uncomfortable, okay? You got to be a little bit uncomfortable there, okay? Now, you're going to be uncomfortable at first. Down the road, as your skills improve, and as your skills improve with the tools and things that Mr. Thomas wants us to do, as those skills improve, you're going to be less and less uncomfortable. I played basketball a lot when I was younger. And when I first started, I was really uncomfortable. But going up against somebody, I'm not scared of nobody. I'm just not scared of nobody. But I didn't start off like that. And I'm sure Mr. Thomas, if you met the 21-year-old, 22-year-old Mr. Thomas, you would not be talking to the same person you're talking to right now. So over the years, we get better and better and better. And I just want you to get uncomfortable doing what? Just being happy about being uncomfortable. I want you to be really good at being uncomfortable. It's going to feel a little weird. And Beth Henson told us this a long time ago. She said, feel the fear and do it anyway. So if you feel the fear, that's normal. That's a normal thing. That's very, very normal. So we gotta feel the fear and do it anyway. It's gonna be a certain sense of fear. Should I ask this person for their name and number? And I want you to roll off your tongue. So give me your name and number, and I'm gonna send you a movie. That's the presentation. I'm gonna send you a movie, and I'm gonna call you and see how you like it. What time should I call? Because I don't want to call until you've seen this movie. It's a little short movie, but our company is looking for people like you. Now that's that rolls off my name. That rolls off my tongue. It may not roll off your tongue, but when I run into Mr. Payne, Danny Payne, and we're talking, and he's working somewhere, or we're sitting on a bus, or wherever we are, I don't know him. Something he said made sense. We were laughing and talking about it, and then I said, "You would be very good at my company's looking for people like you." It just rolls off my tongue. Now that may not roll off your tongue. My company's looking for people like you. He said, well, oh yeah, for real? That's a compliment. Yeah, outgoing people. Give me your name and number. I'm gonna send you a movie to tell you a little bit about it. That's fine. Okay. Now, sometimes if you don't do that, you get their name and number when they call, they don't answer the phone no more because of what? In the day and age that we live in, there's something called robocalls. They get these calls all day long talking about everything under the sun. And you call them about $1 million business, you want to help them get started, but they didn't answer the phone because they don't know who you are. So if you get their name and number and you call them right then, that's my number right there. You give them your number right there. Okay. Say, I got the number. Here's my number. And then you just call them real quick. Say, I just called you. I just text you. So I'll send that movie within the next 15 to 20 minutes. Okay. So I just want you to get good at piquing people and learning how to do that. That's a skill set. Now that's not a regular normal thing to do, to talk to strangers. We were spanked by talking to strangers when we were growing up. This is not going to be, that's what they call work. Okay. Work is that uncomfortable feeling that you got, that uncomfortable feeling. And that's just what we do. So I've had situations where they wouldn't give me their name and number. That's fine. Okay. I tried. I did my job. Okay. That's fine. Okay. But these are people we don't know. Now on social media, we'll get into that on another session. Social media is another way. I had an IBO that I signed to my former boss. He signed up in the business, didn't do anything at all. And just before this call, he called me up. We talked for 2 seconds. I said, "What's up?" He said, "Hey, I'm ready to get started again." He said, I'm freer now. I need to get this thing going." Okay. But now when Alex called me, my former boss, when he called me, his name and number was in the phone. If he had switched his phone number, I might not have answered that call. I had to jump on this call and I might have not have answered the call. So another thing we're gonna have to get good at, y'all, if you're doing the social media thing, which you should be, if you're talking to people, getting their names and numbers, and they find your name and number later on that day or tomorrow or the next day, if it's not your phone, right? And they call you and you don't answer the what? The phone, because it may be a what? A robocall. So this is what I call, and Al knows about this. Now, you guys, I want you to write this down. This is called self-sabotage. Okay? Self-sabotage. This is what we do. This is what we humans do to each other. You don't need no enemies because you're your number one enemy. You don't need to go get no enemy. Okay? You don't need to find no enemy. Somebody that hates you don't want nothing to do with you because you number one. You and it's called self-sabotage. Let me give you some things we think about. Just our brains now. I'm too old. Now y'all don't know how old I am. I'll be 70 in September. Okay. Oh, watch this. Now watch this right here. I'm telling you, self-sabotage means I don't know nobody my age that wants to do this business because everybody my age is ready to go in the ground. I don't know, for some reason they don't want to do nothing. I don't know what's wrong with them. They don't want to do nothing. They're planning funerals and they planning paid off funerals. I told some fellas I know already paid off the funeral. They said that mine's already paid off. I paid it off. I said, wow. Well, I didn't say wow, but it was a 4-letter word. But it starts with a D and ends with an N. Okay, but some of my friends come to me and tell me they're making payments on their funeral. I said, whoa. I didn't say wow. I had another word, But I'm just telling you now, that's people, as you get older and older, you start thinking about all kinds of things. And then you're thinking nobody wants to do this when I have time. You talk about a 10-year plan. Any business you get in is a 10-year plan. Warren Buffett told us really well. He said this. He said, they asked him, they said, why don't more people become wealthy? You train so many people, you show so many people how to get wealthy. Why don't more people wealthy? And he had an answer just like that. He said, wealth is a 10-year process. It's a 10-year program. He said, and if you got wealthy in 10 years, you got rich quick. Okay? You got rich quick. Okay? Now, if you have a job, and I'm not knocking a job, I'm not knocking what you got to do to pay your house payment and all that. That's a get rich never program. Okay? So you opted out of the get rich quick program, 10 years, for what? Get rich never program. Okay? And so just this is self-sabotage. The things we say, this is what 70-year-olds say to themselves, 65-year-olds. And that's because every day people are dying. You know, the heart of your life is 40 to 60. That's a really good years. 40 to 60 years old were really, really good years. After that, things start going down south, fast. All kind of people you know start dying. Your uncle, cousin, brother, sister, aunt, all kind of people just dying all around. You getting calls all the time. And that's just normal. So we could self-sabotage our own self by saying, I don't know anybody who wants to get in business. It's summertime. Nobody's interested in the summertime. I'm gonna wait till the fall. Nobody has any money. If I don't have any money, I think nobody has any money. Okay. If I don't have any money, I think nobody has any money. I was down at the Porsche dealer the other day. I was looking at another 911, and the guy, I just asked her, I asked a lady there. I said, what's the average age of a 911 buyer? Okay. And she said 973,000 a year. The average, not age, I'm sorry, the average income of a person that buys a 911 is what? 973,000 a year. Okay. So if you want a 911, guess what you're gonna have to do? Make 973,000 a year. Okay. So if that's what you want, if the house, whatever, but most people with self-sabotage will say, I'm too old to start that, to do that, you know. But this business that we're in will do that. Now, I'm not supposed to talk about money. I heard about this the other day from our Dave Merriman. But listen here, this thing that you're in, it'll do that. It'll do that. Okay? It will do that. This thing right here you're in will do that. However, you're going to need some skills. Okay? And you got to get out of the idea that I'm too what? Now, this, nobody told you that, but I'm telling you that's what you're thinking. See, the problem with younger people is, the good thing about younger people, they don't want to do what old people did. Okay, they saw what happened to mom and daddy and the jobs and all that. They don't want to do that. Okay, so they're good to recruit and go at. We should, 25 to 35, 40 years old, they're looking for something to do. The bad part about them is they're not coachable. They're not coachable. They know too much. They're not coachable. And if you don't believe it, ask your son or daughter about anything. They know more than you. Okay, so that's just the way the world goes. So, but I want to show a video to show you that you're not too what? OLD, because you got that in the back of your head. And I know you do, because it's something we know of as self-sabotage, things we say to our own self. Okay, so let's take a look at this real quick, and then I got one document I want to show you.
A 50-year-old is 2x more likely to succeed than someone that's 30. Here's the bottom line is, age is not your barrier. Your mindset is, okay? Right? And it's never too late. And it's never too late. I'll give you a few examples, okay? Michael Bloomberg got fired at 39. He started Bloomberg business shortly after. 15 years later, he was a billionaire. Today, he's 82 and worth $106 billion. He started at the age of 40, okay? You look at Henry Ford. He launched the T model, Ford affordable car, Henry Ford, at age 45. You look at Warren Buffett, who's 93 years old, Vic, 93 years old, worth $130 billion. $130 billion. He made 99% of his net worth after his 50th birthday, okay? And this is my favorite one, last one. Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah, I was
right? Colonel Sanders opened his first Kentucky Fried Chicken at the age of 65 and failed. And then he collected his Social Security money and then started franchising, and the rest is history. So here's my message. Get up, get going, never give up, and it's never too late.
I hope that gave you some insight about that on the age thing. This is self-sabotage. We do a lot of things we just hurt ourselves. I don't know. Nobody's home now. I don't know why we won't do this. But and Chanel said it so well. She said the reason a lot of people don't do the simple things that we have to do, the very, 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 very simple minimum things we got to do. Invite people to take a look at a business. And if that's what we're doing, we're inviting people to take a look at a business. And then I had another module I'm not going to go over right now. It's the launch sheet that we have. Give them the launch sheet, okay? I give new people the launch sheet, okay? I want them to look, I want them to be a little confused. They're not going to go to the back office. They're not going to be looking up all this stuff that they need to go look back at, or they'll go back there and stay back there and never come out, okay? What we need to do is get them off to a really good launch and get that launch sheet. I'm going to show it to you real quick. And then print these things off, just get a lot of them, print them out, okay? I'm going to show you, just go to your site. And we got such great back. We got a beautiful, beautiful business here. Okay, let's go to our document library. Then when we get there, we'll go down to AC and opportunity. I think it's down here somewhere. Where's the launch shot? Launch. It's in here somewhere. Launching it. There we go. Okay. And we said everything's in your back office. Print. That's how I get it to people. And here, this is what I hope to get up, if I can get this to do what I need to get it to do. Okay. Can everybody see that? All right. All right. So if everybody can see that, okay, this is launching, and this is simply once a person gets in business, okay, a lot of people need a pencil and paper to write with. They need something to write on. Okay, they ask them to put their name, their position, their phone number. This is your upline leader. Okay. One of your upline leaders could be Mr. Thomas. Your other upline leaders are you. That's who they need to contact if they have a question. Their why. And I tell them if they don't have a why, we're gonna make a house payment a month. That's our goal. Our goal is to make a house payment every month. Okay. They need a goal. They come into business with no goal. So if it don't work, it don't work. Right. All right. I would prefer them to get their house payment money, their car payment money, get into business. I don't want them to take the extra money. I want their house payment money, their car payment money. You know why? They'll work to get it back. Got me? They'll work to get it back. So get into business, get them started. Let them borrow money, get into the business. Okay. And your why is just use mine until you get one. Okay. Use mine until you get one. Mine is to have my house payment come in the mail every month, and then eventually to pay the house off. Okay. They'll write that down. They don't have one. Okay. And then right here, these are the things they need to do. ETL, RC, RD. So the points. They need to get qualified. The first promotion is getting qualified. They want to get that first one. You can do this first promotion real quick. 3 customers. They'll tell you, oh, I'll sign myself up for it. Can I be all of my own 3? Yeah. And they'll sign up and get qualified. But they don't know this is just the beginning. And then they go to ETL, RD, down here. But I want them to work just on these first 2. Okay. The first 2. Go into ETL. If they like that, then they'll want to go to RC. If they like that, they want to go to RD. But I really want them, a new man, to go to get an ETL. Okay. And this launch sheet here has all their questions. It shows the comp plans all in there. It shows the points and how to get that. It shows what it takes, what it pays, the ETL position down below, the RC position. If you like the ETL position, you're gonna love the RC position. It pays 3 times the money. The same work, 3 times the money. And if you like that, you're gonna love this RD thing. It pays 5 times the money, same work. Okay. And that's they're in our launch. Okay. And so that's what it does. Next page. I hope I can get my next page up there. My next page. The first thing they need to do is put their contact list together. It's on the launch sheet. So instead of having them do that, they can put their launch sheet together. I mean their contact list. And that's everybody They say don't prejudge, because if you prejudge me because you don't think I work at the machine 33 in your plant. You prejudge me, and I know Al Thomas. You're prejudging me because you don't think I would do it, and I know Al Thomas, right? So don't prejudge nobody. You don't know who they know. Okay, set up your first 2 PBZs. Okay, this is what they want you to do. What's time and date? Set those up. And then here's a script down here. Here's a script, what you're going to call them and tell them. We don't have to figure it out. This is what you want to call and tell them. Make sure you go over this over and over and over and over, how to invite. A new rep's only work is to invite. Their work is not to do the presentation. They're brand new. They're spanking brand new. I'm going to do the presentation, but I'm going to teach you how to invite. How to invite. And they're going to mess it up. So you got to get them to do it over and over and over. They're going to mess it up. They're going to mess it up. They're going to talk about everything under the sun. You got to teach them how to invite. 99% of the work that you're about to do is get, and we want to try to get 20 people on their first PBZ. You know why? Because 1 or 2 of those 20 people are going to be reps. The others are going to be customers. There'll be 2 or 3 of them because they'll be qualified after their first PBZ, because you show them AT&T and all the different services. Because you did the presentation, their people saw, oh, I'm too busy to be an IBO, but I need another phone service. I'm too busy, but I need a security service for my home. So Don't you see that ACN has it all laid out for us? And then go to the next one. And here's all the services and the companies that the services are provided by. These are name brand companies that the services are provided by. And it just shows how all that works, okay? So this sheet in their hands is gonna be really, really good. If they live in another city, send the sheet to them because of the computers, this world we live in. Remember, I came up with typing and a real computer and carbon paper and all that. But right now we can send stuff all over the planet. It gets all over. The new reps in California send them this document. Okay, and they got it. They can print it out and they're good to go. So we can start to work. Okay, so that's what I want to show that. Now, if this old coon can do that, if I can learn to do that, right? If I can learn to do that, anybody can do that. And most of this can be done with your phone. You don't have to use the computer. You can do it with your phone and send it to somebody on the other side of the planet. Mr. Thomas, I'm going to ask you, when you started network marketing in 1989, 1990, did you have any of this stuff right here?
Zero, none.
We were running around with papers, copies, and we had an overhead projector. We would run something, some film, and put it on the sheet. And they had to come to a meeting, and they couldn't get across town. And it was a mess. It was a mess. Yep. So with the co-founders concentrating on North America, this thing is about to explode. But you need those skills that Mr. Thomas is teaching you. You got to have those skills. It's not going to happen by itself. It will not happen by itself. The skills he's teaching, how to pick people and what to do with the people once you got them in, are $1 million skills you need to make to buy the house or to get the car or whatever you want to do. This business can provide that if you are coachable. Okay, so anyway, that's all I have for today. I just want to talk to the old coons on here, the young bucks. There's a lot of young bucks in here. I'm talking to the old ones of my age. I just want to make sure you understand you're probably going to self-sabotage yourself. And that's just what we do. With that, I'll turn it back over to Mr. Thomas. Thank you.